Hello and welcome. Welcome to Indigenous Cafe, your Indigenous Cafe. I'm your host, Roman Orona, bringing you music, conversation, and inspiration from the Indigenous peoples of North America and the Indigenous peoples from all over the world. On today's show, as we travel the Indigenous musical world, we are traveling with quotes on Indigenous rights. Here's my first quote. An equal standard of human rights must be recognized and adopted. All men are equal. There is no distinction or preferment for any soul in the dominion of his justice and equity. And when they're talking about men, we're talking about all people, male and female. And when we refer to his, we are just referring to the Creator or God. We, as Indigenous people who are fighting for equal rights, let's be guided by this quote. The earth is but one country, and mankind its citizens. We have to fight for all people to have equal rights. We have been and are all about community. So let's recognize community as the entire world. I hope you have your bags packed, your passports ready, and your Indigenous musical ears on, because our journey together begins in 3, 2, now.
Tukmianekena, Paishtekena, Tukmianekena, Emetanekena, Tukmianekena, Paishtekena, Tukmianekena, Emetanekena, Tukmianekena, Paishtekena, Tukmianekena, Emetaneke, way high, way high, way
You're listening to Indigenous Cafe. Let's continue our journey.
Witchi tanta, gimera, horaniko, horaniko, hene, hene, noe. Witchi tanta, gimera, horaniko, horaniko, hene, hene, noe. Water spirit feeding, springing round my head, makes me feel glad that I'm not dead. Witchi tanta, gimera, horaniko, horaniko, hene, hene, noe. 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 Holy Spirit feeding, springing round my head, makes me feel glad that I'm not dead. Witchi tanta, gimera, horaniko, horaniko, hene, hene, noe. 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 Holy Spirit feeding, springing round my head, makes me feel glad that I'm not dead. Witchi tanta, gimera, horaniko, horaniko, hene, hene, noe. Witchi tanta, gimera, horaniko, horaniko, hene, hene, noe. Bimahuchi, Tegigaho, Kalanago, Witchi tanta.
If I walk into the light, will I fall? If I fly into the night, will I fall? The stars in the sky are holes in the night for you. A light way up high, a soul shining bright for you. Will you hold me through the light? Ooh. And will you hold me through the night? Ooh. If I walk out on a fight, will you call? If I ran out to the night, will you come? A part of my life was blind in my eyes before you. A rise in the tide, time for a change before you. And will you tell me it's gonna be alright? And will you tell me it's gonna be alright? If I walk out into the light, will I fall?
You're listening to Indigenous Cafe, your Indigenous Cafe. I'm your host, Roman Orona, and on today's show, we are traveling with quotes on Indigenous rights. Here's my next quote. Continuing the emphasis on the need for unity in diversity, and unity which implies mutual tolerance among the various populations, a recognition by dominant populations of the freedom of indigenous peoples to exercise their rights in all legitimate varieties of ways, and the corollary recognition of indigenous peoples themselves, that such freedom carries with it the responsibility of recognizing the rights of all others to the same expressions. The implications for indigenous peoples also include realization of the virtues of cross-cultural influences, appreciation of the values of other cultures as accruing to the wealth of human experience, and the freedom of all to share in such values without necessarily giving up their respective identities. Avoidance of parochial attitudes which degenerate into ethnic and cultural prejudices, and above all, appreciation of the necessity to maintain a global perspective within which the particulars of indigenous expression can find an enduring context. Let's continue our journey together right here on your Indigenous Cafe.
Standing in the water, basking in the sun, waiting for the waves to pull me under, listening to the wind, whispering a tune, carrying an answer, but will it come soon? We go on, and we carry one another like sacred stones. We go on, and we carry one another like sacred stones. Even in the stillness, knowing you are gone, our hearts are still beating to the sound of the drum. Medicines are burning, stirring up the light. Our campfires grow stronger in the dark of the night. We go on, and we carry one another like sacred stones. We go on, and we carry one another like sacred sacred stones burning inside. Memories take flight. Hushed whispers reside in the still of your sacred stones.
Make me wanna run and play every time I think of you. And I wanna go up and sit right down and look at the ocean so blue. I wanna feel the breeze blowing in my face and let all things hang loose. Whisper your name, feel no pain, relax and living. This is a life, the life meant for me and you. So I hope you get to live it too. Yeah, and I hope you get to live it too. I wanna get on my bike and ride that red dirt road from the cane fields to the shore. I wanna skip stones with my cousins as the ahi skim the ocean floor. And as the sun goes down and the moon goes up, I can see the stars. As we sit by that fire beneath our shack and jam our guitars. This is the life I was given. This is the life I love country living. This is the life meant for me and you. So I hope you get to live it too. Yeah, and I hope you get to live it too. take control. 'Cause I can see the pain in your eyes from the pressures of today. Open your eyes, we're in paradise, and throw them all away. This is the life I was given. This is the life I love country living. This is the life meant for me. So I hope you get to live it too. Yeah, and I hope you get to live it too.
Yo,
listening to Indigenous Cafe. Let's continue our journey.
Okay, do dan when in give, do dan del do isin, do well dan do joasu guhon kamulamon well dead again. Velian kam kusine bides guzabon teojim padawe. Ke ich ka wijeni ne jebides edune no. Nuda my well madun eskil ka kamalamun delu ejige uleji aninge dune no. Desne by Bewool, ebides, gizi malie weeks bene. Nesunu kikto, mijuan jishka, na wegi well dead again. Exikuk dan dujuduki yen kamulamon se whiske. Eda ula basakizi bewidu modelia nox sabane. Nuda my well madon meskilka kamalamon. Delu ejiga ulejin aninge duneno. Nuda my well madon meskilka kamalamon. Delu ejige ulejin aninge duneno. Aninge duneno. Ebides que do neno.
We all had dreams, we could make a change. But some got discouraged, choose not to play the game. You can come from anywhere in all colors of life, with all the heartaches to follow. Would you lose sight? Who are the people? Step out into the light. And who will speak out when things aren't right? Will you turn away from the voices you once heard? Or will you dance, dance in the light to the sound of a different drum? Life is hard and you may fall, but if you're gonna win, you learn to take it all. His wisdom failure, his persistence life. If you're going to judge a man, see the color of his heart. Who are the people? Step right into the light. And who will speak out when things aren't right? Turn away from the voices you once heard. Or will you dance, dance in the light to the sound of a different drum? Who are the people? Step out into the light.
You're listening to Indigenous Cafe, your Indigenous Cafe. I'm your host, Roman Orona. And on today's show, we are traveling with quotes on Indigenous rights. Here's another quote. Concerning Indigenous rights, it stands to reason that Indigenous people are entitled to all the human rights accorded other peoples. For example, they should be guaranteed the full rights of citizenship, and all acts of discrimination against them, which may have developed over the years, should be eliminated. At the same time, it would be unseemly for the demands of their rights to make, on the basis of their indigenousness, a special claim to exclusive rights and privileges which exceed the necessity to redress injustices. Let's continue our journey together right here on your Indigenous Cafe.
Alulemanu, lemanu samo, alumaleato iai. Alulemanu samo, tama tama toa tama. Alulemanu, lemanu samo, alumaleato iai. Alulemanu samo, tama toa tama.
Where's Fali? Ile lalolangi, le loto tele, molo watu nubu, e mafuai, le malosi, male mimita, e toya titi, ai tanu, le pasiinga, ole liona, e lai titi, ai maini, famawalunga, ai le pasifika, e ese, pasese, ile ingo Samoa, e ese, pasese, le sui mawalungo Samoa.
Alulemanu, lemanu samo, alumaleato iai. Alulemanu samo, tama toa tama. Alulemanu, lemanu samo, alumaleato iai. Alulemanu samo, tama toa tama.
Wawai iai, le lalolangi, lo loto tele, molo watu nubu, e mafuai, le malosi, male mimita, ole me lilo, ole te talo, o mawai, tele o melelei, e lai titi, ai maeni, fa mawalunga, ai le pasifika, e ese, pasese, ile ingo Samoa, e ese, pasese, le sui mawalunga Samoa.
Alulemanu, lemanu samo, alumaleato iai. Alulemanu samo, tama toa tama. Alulemanu, lemanu samo, alumaleato iai. Alulemanu samo, tama toa tama. Alulemanu, lemanu samo, alumaleato iai. Alulemanu samo, tama toa tama. Alulemanu, lemanu samo, alumaleato iai. Alulemanu samo, tama toa tama. Alulemanu, lemanu samo, alumaleato iai. Alulemanu samo, tama toa tama. Alulemanu, lemanu samo, alumaleato iai. Alulemanu samo, tama toa tama.
I remember when I was 6 years old, I lived across the road from old John Doe. Lady, when the sun would fade at night,
till the early morning light. I would hear him singing songs of old that would fade into your dreams and touch your soul. Hear those rattles shake and roll. That's memories of John Doe. By the bridge till the early twilight. You would see him walking by that reservation road, wearing his big black hat that was old John Doe. I could hear him singing the songs of old that would fade into your dreams, that would touch your soul. You hear those rattles shake and roll. I think of those songs every now and then. Late in the evening when the sun faced the night, I can still hear that drum till the early morning light. I would hear him singing songs of the old that would fade into your dreams, that would touch your soul. Hills rattles, shake and roll.
You're listening to Indigenous Cafe. Let's continue our journey.
hold the power, one by one. Fists in the air, we are never done. Better brace yourself because we just begun. Run, 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 here we come, come, come. Tunisia to Syria, down to Congo, across to Colombia. When we get justice, we will release. Then we will have some peace.
Down to the West Bank, Casablanca to Sri Lanka, London to Jakarta, Venezuela to Sparta, China to Carolina, Botswana to Tijuana, Lebanon to Louisiana, Guyana to Ghana.
I'm sick of all the deaths in police custody. Where's the consequences and accountability? Nobody wanna take responsibility. Black blood on your hands, do you are guilty. I never stop speaking cause my speech is free. Never stop yelling so you can hear me. Not safe on the streets, you call this liberty. You got no respect with no integrity. You can use tear gas, water, or pepper spray, but nothing will stop the change coming your way. Religion should never govern the state. How can something so divine cause so much hate? How much more can people endure? 1% is love keeping the people poor, while corporations keep buying up the law. I stand with you now, this is what I'm here for.
Down to the West Bank, Casablanca to Sri Lanka, London to Jakarta, Venezuela to Sparta, China to Carolina, Botswana to Tijuana, Lebanon to Louisiana, Guyana to Ghana.
Now I would never judge a man acting in self-defense, nor belittle the peacekeepers having them in the fence. But the problem with these vengeance cycles that they never end, unless the profiteers of violence never had a better friend. Opportunists come in droves, gun running, smuggling. Journalists who parachuting, families are juggling. Fortified weddings and funerals any given time. Mortified rounds of ammunition, mama says it's fine. Yeah, mama says it's fine, everything's gonna be okay. But I can sense the fear from 7,000 miles away. How could I just forget it? That's why I put it in a verse. We don't do this work for credit, we don't spit it for a purse. After all, what's more shameful than the praise of fools? Chasing after fame, that's how you play the fool. Baba beans to offend them just to play the fool. Giving me the energy, I need the wordplay. Now I'm making the earth shake.
Down to the West Bank, Casablanca to Sri Lanka, London to Jakarta, Venezuela to Sparta, China to Carolina, Botswana to Tijuana, Lebanon to Louisiana, Guyana to Ghana. Down to the West Bank, Casablanca to Sri Lanka, London to Jakarta, Venezuela to Sparta, China to Carolina, Botswana to Tijuana, Lebanon to Louisiana, Guyana to Ghana.
You're listening to Indigenous Cafe, your Indigenous Cafe. I'm your host, Orona, and it's about that time for me to get on out of here. I want to thank you for joining me today here on Indigenous Cafe. I had a blast traveling the indigenous musical world with you and traveling with quotes on Indigenous rights. And here's my last quote for the show. Indigenous people have a slightly significant role to play in the development of the world order, as is indicated in the oft-quoted words of Abdu'l-bahá concerning the American continent, to the effect that, quote, should these Indians be educated and properly guided, there can be no doubt that through the divine teachings they will become so enlightened that the whole earth will be illumined. In this period of social evolution, however, minorities, including the indigenous peoples, continue to suffer from oppressive and disheartening treatment in many parts of the world. We as indigenous people have an obligation to the world. So I call on my indigenous brothers and sisters, let's rise up. Let's show this world who and what we're made of. Our ancestors sacrificed for us to be here and for us to be able to fulfill our prophecy of enlightening the world. It's our time. Let's not waste it, and let's not lose this time to show the world that we are here. My love and blessings are with you always. Thank you again for joining me here on Indigenous Cafe, And until our next journey together, be well, be safe. Take care for now. Here's my final song.
Of the ongoing programming here of Indigenous Cafe, feel free to give a tax-deductible donation at www.iamhumanmedia.com. Let's